everyone and welcome. Happy Wednesday. I'm Marcie Besecker, an independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up. Thank you for joining me today. Let me make sure my volume's off. I always think I'm going to forget that, and then things are going to start popping up and making all these terrible loud noises. So welcome everybody. Today I am doing a card with a Rejoice to Him, which is this stamp set right here. When I first did my unboxing, a lot of people said, "Oh, I'm so glad you got that set. I want to see it something made." And then recently, of course, people have been asking. It's almost Easter, so I thought, you know what, I need to get a card done. So I really looked at it. There's a lot of sentiments in it, and then there's just the 3 images. And I was thinking, how am I going to put that into a card that's not just one image and then a sentiment? And I was trying to kind of think of something, and I like with what I came up with. It's fairly simple, but I think pretty creative, so hopefully you'll like it. Hello everybody. Hi Laura. Hi Deborah. How are you? Hi Debbie. Gloria, welcome. Got notified this time. Yay. Hi Debbie. And Marcie, welcome everybody. Today we're also going to do a couple things. I've been getting a lot of questions and a lot of new people joining my classes and my blog. So I want to go over exactly how to fill out registering for my classes. It works for me on my blog. There's a couple things I'd like to change, but I need to look into it a little bit more. When I asked, it was something I couldn't change, but I want to kind of still play with it in the future, probably before the new catalog, so in the very near future, because I know it's not as easy for you as I would like it to be. So I'm going to kind of go over how it is now, and then hopefully I can get it to change. It is WordPress, so hopefully if there's anybody out there that has WordPress and has a fabulous answer for me, please let me know. So we're going to go over that really quickly. And then the other thing is, I've had a few questions from people about YouTube and a couple buttons on how do they work and why are they there and how does it help me. So I'm just going to show you that also really quickly. So we'll jump into all of that really quick first, because they're going to be quick and easy, and then we'll get to our card. But first, I want to remind you that tomorrow is the last day to register for bingo, and that is to guarantee a kit. So I like to make sure I at least have this amount of people, because that kind of helps me pay for the 4 $100 prizes that I give out, and I don't want to minimize those if I can help it. I'd rather just cancel it and I can take your money to the next month, because I don't want somebody not getting the message and them saying, "Oh, I thought they were $100 prizes." That's what I would like to do for everybody. So the 4 $100 prizes. Also, I put a gift of something in your bingo package or class package or whatever. And so I want to continue doing that too. And so I'd rather not take away from the bingo experience, and I'd rather just make sure we have enough people. I've gone many months going minimum or less, because I'm thinking, oh, it's just a slower month. But then, it makes up in some other months that are a little bit higher. But since Christmas, it has been slower, not going to lie, and that's fine. I get it. It's a new year and people are busy and doing their taxes and all that stuff. I totally get it. Also, a lot of people already have their Stampin' Up stuff that they want until the new catalog comes out. But let me remind you, white paper, glue, adhesive, dimensionals, anything like that is definitely a must-have. And so those are the things that you want to make sure you're looking at. Now we have the online exclusives, a lot of great things that you can be getting. So just kind of think of those things. Kits are great gifts. So there's a lot of things that are still out there that are definitely worth purchasing. And then of course, when the new catalog comes, we're all excited about that. All right, so hi Marcia. Marcia, I have to message you because I have your stamp set. So remind me if I forget. I'll try to email you tonight. Okay, let's see what else is going on. Okay, so bingo, again, March 15th. It is going to be next Wednesday at 5 o'clock. Same thing, 4 games, 4 bingos, 4 prizes, all that fun evening. Your kits are just about done because I'm doing a certain number and we're still under that. So I think we'll be fine. There might be a couple extras. So even if you decide that you really want to participate, but you don't get paid until next week, that's fine. Just let me know that you want to so I can make sure that I have your kit prepared for you. Bingo sneak peek, here you go. All of those can be replaced with something else. So if you don't have, let's say the Hues of Happiness, that paper, or Happiness Abounds, you can use a different flower. Actually, that flower is DSP. So the only thing you need is a sentiment on that card. Everything else is going to be there. Everything else you can replace with something else. So, don't stress out if you don't have one of those. I try to make the cards where most of it is DSP, embellishments, cardstock, that kind of thing, and then some stamping that you can use something else if you need to. The other thing is the April class is, looks like we have a lot of people taking that. And so it's Irresistible Blooms. Yes, I know this whole suite is not available. The frosted gems are not there, the frosted dots. But you can get the bundle and you can get the DSP, and that will still qualify you for the class for free, or the equal value purchase, or the class is $40. So if you'd like to do that and see a sneak peek, if you don't want to see a sneak peek, close your eyes. Here is a sneak peek of the class. Again, it is registered by the 31st because it is an April class, but items are going fast. I don't want the paper to sell out, even though you're getting it in your kit. It's such great paper to go with that bundle. So I don't want you to miss out on that. And the reason I made it the 31st is because I want to make sure I get more product if I need. I do have plenty of DSP. I think we're going to be fine. But I just want to make sure in case I need to get more. So I'm going to kind of have a cutoff to where I can order that if I need to still. All right, so there is that. Let me see. There's something else. Oh, I have a list. Let me see. Bingo. For those of you play bingo, I am going to do a random drawing for those participating in bingo. And I will put in the Scenic Garden host set. And so one of the winners will get this. And so what I'll probably do is put your guys' names on the back of a ticket or something and just draw it during bingo at the end of the night. So I will add this to somebody's kit when they get that. Okay, so there's that. Let's see. Congratulations to Beth Kinsey. She is the one that purchased the golden ticket. So thank you very much. Her picture holding her tickets up on my blog, on my Facebook page, Marcie Besecker Designs, so you can see that there. I told you April sneak peek. Our colors are refreshing. We're going to have some new colors, and so we do not know what they are yet. Obviously, we do know Pretty Peacock and Lost Lagoon, but we will be getting some new colors, which is exciting, and we'll see those on the 29th. If you are interested in becoming a demonstrator, I'd love to have you on my team, and then you get to see the new catalog on March 29th. So, and then we get to pre-order in April, and then the catalog's available to customers in May. So that's exciting stuff coming up. Let's see, host set, April sneak peek, tropical leaf. Woohoo! Where's that set? Right here. I have a beautiful card that I am creating, and you will see it on Sunday. So a little sneak peek on what's coming on Sunday. So that is coming. So I'm doing a lot of leaves. You probably saw I posted a picture on my Facebook page. So there's a lot of leaves coming there. Let's see. Okay, I think that's about it. Other than I'm going to quickly show you first how to go on my blog. So let me switch over. All right, so on my blog, when you go to marciebeseckerdesigns.com, right here where it says shop for classes, bingo, etc. You're going to highlight that. Let me just scroll down a little bit. And then you're going to go to this one right here, bingo classes, paper shares, PDFs. That is where you will go to sign up for any classes, anything like that. I also do have a tab over here, and it does, when I check the classes, it will show up there. So let's just X out of that. But this is really the easiest way to go, because then you can see everything that I have for sale. Okay, so you can see the March bingo. You can see I had a country floral class, no kits, but you could still get the video if you'd like. And if there's tutorials, of course, you would get that too. The Irresistible class here, this Christmas pop-up card video, and this is another Hues of Happiness class that I had. So if you're interested in any of that. Now, if you are purchasing not a class, like this one, if you're purchasing this, you can just add it to your cart. Now, WordPress has you add things to your cart like this, and I can't get rid of those. But what you need to do, if you're going to sign up for bingo, is you need to go here where this is and say bingo March, and then click on that, because that is going to take you and pop open the registration. So it's going to give you information about the class. It's going to tell you the deadlines, the prizes, you know, that kind of stuff. I need 5 numbers from you. So, you know, just kind of same thing every month usually. Sometimes I'll tell you, you know, what it's going to be. New, fill out the form here and pay below. That's not new really anymore. That's been a while. You want to fill out your registration form, okay? And you need to register, but you also could add it to your cart here and go to PayPal, or register, and then when it kicks you out, you can go back and just add it to your cart. But you can pay here also. And PayPal, you would put a credit card in through PayPal. So whatever works for you. And then you will get a CVS file, which is, it looks like a little, it looks just like this, that you filled out this information. And then that is your, I want to make sure that you are, let's see, where am I at here? Okay, it looks like it's way behind for me, so I'm just double checking. But that's where you will go to your, to get your numbers, your verified, get your numbers. So, yeah, when I switch screens, it looks like our video is behind. So I just wanted to make sure. I'm like, wait, what happened? And it looks blurry, so hopefully you guys can see that okay. Anyway, so that is kind of how that works, is you want to make sure that you click on the bingo classes and paper, and then you want to make sure that you pay also, because I'm getting a lot of payments but no registration. So if you don't register, I don't have your numbers, I don't have your address, especially if you're new. So, you know, please make sure you go back and register. If you have already registered, then or if you forgot to register and you pay, I will go to last month if you've played before, and I will pull that information in. So that address, those numbers, all of that will be on your thing. So if you didn't register but you paid, I'm going to go pull the last month's stuff. So I hope that makes sense to you. All right, so you guys now, it's so weird, this little delay, is you guys are looking at my blog still, but now I'm going to go to switch to something else really quickly. A lot of people asked me on YouTube, how does it work with, there's several buttons that they're not sure of. So the first thing I want to tell you is on your current, let me go to this here. So this is what I'm looking at. So you guys will see how behind it is, okay? So I'm looking at my screen and I scrolled down. So I'm watching what you guys are watching right now. That's how far behind it is, okay? But this button right here says show your support for Marcie. You can click on that. You can choose a super sticker or a super chat. So let's say, I'm sure you've seen this on a video for a super chat. So you can take this scroll and you can scroll it back and forth, and then you can add a message in here and say, you know, thank you so much for that tip, I finally figured it out, or, you know, whatever. And it's really just kind of like a thank you to me. But your super chat will pop up on the screen over here. Okay. So, I know you're not seeing what I'm seeing on the screen right now, but it's just kind of a weird deal because I'm looking at the current screen and it's behind in recording. But I hope that all makes sense to you. Okay, so now the next one, and see, now I'm going to go, now we're back to the current thing because you guys are done watching that. It's kind of odd, but we're going to pop over to another screen. So here's another one I did. So see how it says thanks here? It's because I don't have a chat on the right side. So it'll say thanks right here. It's the same thing. Thanks. You can, you know, add whatever if you'd like to, and add a comment. It'll pop up on the screen. And then that's how that one works there. And I believe here, nope. So that's just that one. This one is one I did the other day, and I do have chat up here. So you would have to click on the dot. So let's say you're watching this video afterwards, or you're coming back and you want to learn something, or, you know, I know a lot of people learn the bows, and, you know, some people learn certain, you know, how to put your stickers on the back, whatever. If anything helps you and you're appreciative enough to be able to donate, then you can just hit thanks here, and it's the same thing here. So somebody, actually, I've had 3 people like in the last month ask me about that. So I thought I would just share that with you, kind of see how that works. One of them, the super chat, comes up on the screen. The other one comes up in the chat itself, and that's how you can donate. I do get people asking me, you know, I'm a demonstrator, but I've learned so much, blah, blah, blah. And so that's how you can do it. What do I do with that money? There's another, somebody just mentioned that I have a lot of commercials on my videos. A lot of us do, because we do get a little bit of money from YouTube from letting them play commercials. The reason I do it is a lot of that money helps me keep my equipment up to date. I try to keep that separate, and that's just my equipment money. So I try to update my cameras, update my software, my blog. I pay for my blog every year. There's an amount I pay for my administrator to keep it updated and current, and, you know, all that kind of stuff. If some weird thing happens on it, I call her, I message her, I do a ticket, and she comes in and fixes it. So stuff like that. There's a lot of different expenses when you're doing videos. So that's all that is. And so that is, I hope that kind of explains it. Now, I want to get done and past all that, and let's craft. So thank you for taking the time out and watching that little bit of information. So I hope I answered questions for those that wanted it. So here we go. So here's the card I created. I thought it was a lot of fun. I was trying to think of a soft but nice card. I didn't want DSP because really the DSP that I was looking at that I thought of using was from the Forever Fern, the Eden set. No, the Eden set, not Forever Fern, but the Eden set. But it's retired. So I was like, okay, now, you know, what am I going to do? So I came up with this, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. So I'm going to show you what we're going to do. You're welcome, Marcia. I hope that didn't confuse people, but I know I do get questions about it, so I thought I wanted to get that started and answer to everybody. All right. And especially the signing up for classes. I know it can be a little confusing. I wish that add to cart thing wasn't there, but it is. All right, so on the inside, all I did is I added a leaf in the corner just for, you know, to kind of tie it all together. So let's move this aside, and let's get some stamping done here. I'm going to do the soft succulent. What did I do over here? Soft succulent, yeah. So we're going to do a soft succulent leaf. First thing. All right, we'll get some stamping done. So let's just put that there. Yay. All right, and we're just going to go ahead and adhere this. Now, once you get a couple questions and it's the same questions, it's kind of like, uh-oh, what happened to my, oh. And it's kind of like, you know what, it's just going to be easier to just share it online, and then that way there might be others wondering or, you know, not sure how to sign up for classes and that kind of thing. So I'd rather just help everybody. Man, you can tell I was fussy cutting today. My poor little fingers. I've done a lot of fussy cutting today. All right. So here's our inside. So let's just go ahead and put that. All right, there we go. I will set this aside. The very next thing I want to do, because I need it to dry, is we're going to work on our vellum. Okay, so I'm going to bring in my stamping pad here. It's a grid sheet. I call it my stamping pad. I use it all the time because I like to stamp off and that kind of thing if I need to. We're going to use both colors. So, and we're going to kind of go back and forth, and I'll tell you why. Because we want to start in the middle and kind of work our way out. I feel like I got glue on my vellum here. Hold on. I got some glue on my vellum or something. Let's see. Yep. There we go. Okay. So you want to start from the inside out. So because I just did soft succulent, let's just keep that here. And I'm just going to go like that. Now the other thing I did is I'm going to bring in a darker piece of paper because it lets me see, and it would be smart to have a bigger piece, but let's see if I have one right here. There we go. That's fine. Because you can see your white paper, your vellum a lot better. So let's just do this for now. Okay. All right. So now I'm going to do a couple. I'm just going to come in like right here. You want to go kind of close because you don't want a bunch of gaps. All right. And then I think we can come in like right there. And now I'm going to switch colors because I want to make sure that I get all my colors close enough, all my stamping close enough. Because this is kind of what our background's going to be like. All right. So let's go there. And now let's do our hunter green. Our evening evergreen. And so I'm going to come in like this and like this. All right, so now you can fill in. You know that there's two, there are two soft succulent there. And so now I'm going to clean this off. So just kind of, you know, do what you wish. There's two over here, but not here, so I'm going to go like that. And then over here, I'm going to come kind of sideways, right here. All right. And that leaves a space here. I should have kind of went in there a little bit, but we'll fix that. And this is evening evergreen over here, or a soft succulent. So I'm going to come in I'm going to come outward, like right here. All right. And then this one, I'm going to wipe this off. Okay. And then I'm going to dry it. So I just kind of wipe it, do it on here. And then I think we're okay to come I'm going to do soft succulent again. And I'm just going to come up a little bit. So it overlays a little bit, but I'm okay with that. All right, then I think we need some more dark. So I'm just going to pounce this off over here and go to the dark. And I'm going to just go sideways and some sideways there. I'm going to add a little bit right there. So just kind of, you know, feel your way around it, kind of see what you need. And your circles are going to go on top of that. So it's not, you know, you don't have to worry about it too much. And so I'm going to now set this aside so it'll dry. But see, just add your colors. Be really careful because it is on vellum. It will smear. So just set this aside, okay? Debbie, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. I know some people, I mean, I've done it before in my videos a long time ago, and then I just kind of forgot about it. And then when people started asking, I was like, oh gosh, I guess I should bring that up again. Thank you so, so much. All right, so now, hi Mary, hi Penny, how are you? Hi Debbie. Okay, so that's done. Now we're gonna do stamp our images here. So I have the circles. And so here we are. So let's do first, get our black out. Oh, you know what? Let's get our black out and leave these two for a quick second. We're going to get our black out and do our sentiment next so we can finish up with our two green colors. So take your sentiment and one of the larger circles. And these circles came from the Stylish Shapes. They were out of stock for a while, but I think they're in now. And this is the second circle, this larger one. And this one is the third one from the center, the smaller one. I had those from another project. I have a whole stack of them. So I was like, ooh, that's what made me think about using circles. All right, so we're going to do this. Luckily, it's a circle. So just get it as straight as you can. But luckily, with that, you can just circle it a little bit. Hi, Crystal. Hi, Marie. All right, so get that on there. Okay, there's our sentiment. Beautiful. Now, we're going to take our leaves and just kind of, you know, put a little bit on here and there. I'm going to do a little right there. And now I'm going to switch it out. And I'm going to go to the dark. You probably really don't need to mark off the dark or the lighter color. So whatever you want. You don't have to put a lot on. And then I'm going to just do a little right here. I don't want it to take over all the words, but you know, you can do whatever you want. You can stamp off before you do it, you know, whatever. So we'll set that aside. All right, now let's close these up. We're done with this. Again, soft succulent, evening evergreen. All right, now we're going to come in with this and this. And we are going to stamp our dove. So just kind of center that nicely. All right, there's our dove. Now, I like to take, you'll notice the Memento ink is a little bit smaller, so I like to take it and then just ink the larger stamps. If you did it like this, you're probably going to get a little bit on. It doesn't matter, but I prefer to do this because then I can see where I really got it nice and inky. It's got some solid images. I want to make sure that those are nice and inky. All right, and then now, I will tell you that I stamped this first and then I die cut it. But because for video purposes, I don't want to be sitting here die cutting out circles. So I just decided, you know what, I can do it like this. You can make sure you put it on the block that's a little, you know, gives you some space so you can see it. And then that's much easier. Okay. Now, I'm going to turn this over. We're going to do some coloring. The colors I used are the light, I know it's hard to see, the light soft seafoam, the light petal pink, and the 1000, which is like the skin tone that I like to use. So those are the three that I use. So let's do the bird first, which is the petal pink, the light petal pink. And I didn't shade, I just wanted it a nice soft, and you don't even have to do it completely solid. You could leave little whites on there and make it look more like a watercolory image if you wanted. Make it like, because it is like a sketch, so make your coloring like a sketch too. It's okay. And so it looks darker in person than on screen, but that looks perfect. Then the other thing I want to do is we're going to bring the picture in here and we're going to do the skin first. And I did the 1000. And I took remember, open them away because sometimes you'll get a little drip of alcohol and you don't want that to land on your image. And then I did the scalp too because I just didn't want this big white spot there. And then just kind of go through. You can do it, you know, really solid if you want, or you could leave some white spots in there like it's a sketch so it can look like a picture. All right, and then I did the neck. Okay, so just like that. You don't have to, like I said, you don't have to make it super dark. So there's that. And then I took the soft seafoam and I did my soft seafoam, actually the wide brush at the end is getting kind of crazy, kind of dry. I've been using it a lot. So just kind of go over, kind of come down. Same thing. It doesn't have to be filled in. It's kind of a sketch looking image. And so you can just fill it in. Okay. You don't have to go all the way out. You don't have to go down to the bottom if you don't want to. So I'm just going to turn it a little bit. Okay, and just kind of fill that in. Just like that. So I like to just at least make it where the lines are. Make sure you put the color all the way down there and all the way here. Okay, so there is, I did a little darker here, you're going to notice. It's probably because I just colored it in a little bit more, and I think I will just so it's not so white right here. So I'm just going to go over it again, add a little more color. Again, I'm not, you know, making sure it's solid. I'm just adding another layer of color. This pen is about done, so that's why it's coming out pretty light. And just add a little more layer of green on there. Mainly because there are a bunch of white circles and I just want to add some more color. Okay, so there we go. So quick and easy highlighting. All right, so there are our 3 images. So now what I did is you're going to bring in your card base here, and we need to add our image here that I'm going to try and carefully grab. It is still wet. You can see that it's still wet a little bit. So what I did is bring the paper in that you colored on. You're going to turn it over. So grab a couple spots where there's no ink if you can. Lay it down carefully. Make sure you're holding it with one hand. I'm going to get any extra ink off. Okay. Obviously, when I was creating the card, took more time because I wasn't sure what I was going to do. And so it dried a little more than right now, but that's okay. So see, you got some ink on there. Take that off. And now what we're going to do, you can still see little spots where it's wet. I don't know if you can see it, but there's certain spots that are still a little bit wet. And that's okay. We're going to set this aside real quick. We're going to bring in our 4 1/8. I should write this down because I keep saying I'm going to do this for you guys and I forgot. So this piece is 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. And then the vellum, wow, vellum is 4 by 5 1/4. Okay, so as soon as I can learn how to spell vellum, we'll be good. There we go. Okay, so that's the sizes I did on the inside or the outside. The inside, this is basic white and it's the same thing. All right, so we're going to turn this over, and what I did is I'm going to take my seal and I'm just going to put a little bit, I got to get it going here. I'm going to do a little, just little tiny pieces because you're doing vellum. You have leaves on there. So you just don't want to do a bunch of this because you don't want it to show up through the vellum. So I'm just doing a little bit on, let's see, 6 or 8 of them. Here, 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 and there. And then you can do it in the middle because this is where your circles are going to go. So you want to make sure your circles, if your vellum wasn't adhered here, it might lift up a little bit with the weight of all the circles. So you want to make sure that you're going to put, you know, some weight right there. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take this and we're going to turn it over. And remember, grab it right where there's no ink. So you want to be really careful. All right. And now we're going to just go, and the ink is facing down. Okay. It still gives you that soft look right here with this vellum. If you did it like this, make sure it's completely dry before, if you want that to be more bold. But I liked the softer look of it. So I'm just going to turn that over, and I'm going to go right down where I want my vellum to go. So just double check, get it as close as you can before you have to move it around a little bit, because you don't want to move it too much because it's still wet. Okay, now I'm going to push it, make sure it's all on there. And now you don't see the tape because, number one, this is a light paper, and you put a little bit right here, and then you put some on all the corners, but you can't see it. Okay, so that really does help. All right, so the next thing I did is let's add our sentiment first. So let's get our dimensionals. And on the circles, I just did 3. Oops. Except I just messed up on this one, so I'll do 4. I like to do it 1 at the top. So like right here, this is the top. I put 1 here and then 2 on the bottom, just because then you can tuck, you know, stuff in there if you have leaves or whatever you decide you want to add. All right, so let's add this one right here. Actually, let's go ahead and add this to the front of the card. I like to do this especially if your pieces might still be wet, which they won't be because they're alcohol, but if you're working with something that might be wet or just glued or whatever, they won't move around by you having to put them face down. So I do this, make sure top and bottom, and then across the side here. And that looks good. Hi, Lisa. All right, then we're going to take this off. We're going to add this right about here. While you're right here, I'm going to take this, and I don't put, you could put adhesive on it if you want. I'm going to take liquid glue, except I just pulled the top off of my, this bottle is the first bottle I've used, and I bought like, I don't, what are they, come in a 12 pack or something, and it's still the first one. All right, so I'm going to pull this up and just kind of put that in here, and then put it down. And I just want a little bit sticking out, just to add a little something there. This one, we're going to put it right about here. So let's take these off. So if you chose, I mean, everybody's different. If you chose not to want one of these images, maybe you just want a sentiment, you could also add, you know, more leaves down here. I would do the vellum and probably add some evening evergreen or soft succulent or gold, you know, if you just want a sentiment on there. So, you know, it's whatever you choose to do. So it's such a pretty, and this leaf is such a pretty leaf. All right, so there's that. And then we're going to take this one, and I'm going to put these, this one's layering up over here. So I'm going to put these on this side. So on the right side. And then I'm going to take some liquid glue, just a little bit, so it will lay down on here. Okay, so just kind of bring it in and just kind of tuck it in right there. All right, so there's that. Oops, this one I already laid down. Silly, silly. Okay, now I'm going to take my vellum, do the same as I did below. I'm just going to slide it like right about there. Okay. I probably should have done it more because this leaf might get kind of bent up, but that's okay. And then I took this one and I added glue. Yeah, I think I did glue. I might have done seal, but it doesn't matter. Just a little bit is all you need. And I think I just laid that there and put a block on top of it. And the thing I did forget is I didn't add any stones or anything, so I need to do that. So I have my little bucket here. Let me pull it out. This is how I keep my stones, and so I think I'm going to use these, the genial gems. So I just have them all in here to just kind of, and these are like open packages, and then I have more put away. Like I could use these, which are the in color ones, and those are pretty too. I could also use the champagne, would look really pretty. But I think, ooh, those would be pretty too. But I think I'm going to do these, the genial gems. Because I have the green or the, I think they called them gold. I don't know if these are petal pink or something, but anyway. We are going to put our gems on, and I think I am not going to do the green. I think I want to use these because they kind of go with the bird there. So I'm going to do one here with a small one, and then I'm going to put a small one here and a small one right up here. So there we go. So again, and I'm finding some with a lot of sparkle in them. And here, and here, and up here. There we go. It was stamped on vellum and colored, but colored on the front. The backside makes so much more sense. Yeah, it's really nice if you want it. It's just a softer look. And you could even stamp off with this if you wanted so that it wasn't as dark. But it would still look really nice. And I like to turn it over. Number one, now I can't mess it up. I can't smudge it. If it gets wet, it's going to be fine because the color's on the other side. Also, think about if you stamp, you could color on the other side. So I'll show you if I can find a piece of vellum. Hold on. I'll grab a small piece that I have here. All right, so here I have a small piece, but let's say I'm going to stamp, let's just do the bird. Oh, okay. So let's do the bird and stamp him. He's wet, of course, right now, so we'll give him a second. Oh, here we could do the leaf too. I'll show you. My piece is big enough for the leaf. I was going to try the other image, but it's not going to work. All right. So let's let this dry. Where's my flat piece? We're just going to make it dry. Okay. So now we're going to take our color. Let me get a different color. So you can use a marker or alcohol if you wanted. I'm going to use alcohol. And I'm just going to do the soft succulent. And you can come in, oh, see my soft succulent. I just bought one, so it came today in the mail. But you could go in and color. Now, mind you, it might smear a little because I didn't really let it dry. I'm just trying to hurry. But you could go in and color your leaves. So try to go around the black just because it's not dry. Once it's dry, this is alcohol and your ink is water-based, so it'll be fine, but it's still wet. But you could go in and color or use your marker. So let me pull out a marker. Now this one you really got to be careful because this is water and so is this. So you can get the black all over the place. So you got to be really careful if you're going to do your marker. See how I picked up the black right there. So you got to be really careful. But let's just say that this is colored all the way. And then you've got this really fun look of your your ink on there, but you can turn it over and still have that color on there. So you can do that too. Hi, Kylie. So, and I just love that look. Let me see if I can get a plain white piece of paper here. So, see, you can tell this one's smudged with black because I was trying to do it and it's still wet. And it's ink on ink. So you want to do that and stays on if you're going to use your markers. But if you're going to use your black memento, that's water-based, you can use your alcohol. And then here comes your leaf. So you can turn it over this way and it's a little bolder, or you can turn it over and it's a little softer. So coloring on the back side is also a really fun way to do stuff. And you can emboss on it and then color on the bottom side is kind of cool. So that's just a little bit more about what you can do with your vellum and coloring on it and everything. But all right, so there you go. So I think it's simple enough. You know, if you have, what happened is I ended up having, like I said, these circles. I have a stack of them somewhere. And so I was like, okay, what am I going to do? Oh, here, this is what I have right here. So I had a bunch of these from another project. I think we did the larger one and I made a frame. And so I ended up with these little circles. And so I decided, oh, okay, if I put the dove on the circle, and then I was like, what am I going to do with the rest? And then I was like, why don't I put it all on circles? And so you could change it up and, you know, not have all circles. I just thought it was kind of different and I added the vellum, but you could add obviously cardstock or whatever, but it's just kind of a cool look because they're just 3 different images. So you can't really make a scene. I mean, I guess you could if you did, you know, like the sky and everything, but I just thought, well, I liked the leaf a lot and I really wanted to use that, but I wanted it soft, which is why I flipped the vellum. Oh, good, Margie. I'm glad you liked it. Thank you, Kylie. So there you go. That is the card for the day. And I appreciate you watching. Let me switch here. So thanks again for watching. Don't forget bingo registration last day tomorrow. You can, if you participate in bingo, I will do a raffle and somebody will win the scenic garden. And I will raffle that on bingo night. A lot of people do the bingo just for the card kits in the class. So you don't have to be present to win. If you paid for bingo and you're part of bingo, you will go in the drawing. And don't forget, I am finishing my card kits. And so tomorrow's the cut-off day. And I will probably maybe have a couple extra. It just depends on what happens, because usually the last couple days is when everybody signs up. So just so you know, again, here is the sneak peek for bingo. You do not have to have those stamp set. I provide all of the die cuts and the DSP and the all the images and everything. You will have to do add something else if you don't have it, like a flower or whatever. So you can pull that from a different set if you want to. Also, my April class is coming up. Here is a sneak peek for that. Having that set will be important because all the flowers, I mean, you can always choose other flowers to go with it if you'd like. But the sentiments and the images and stuff are all from that set. You're welcome, Gloria. You are welcome, Debbie. Thank you. Thanks, Crystal and Kylie. You guys, thank you so much for watching. I will be here on Sunday, and I'm going to use the new tropical leaf. And it has a punch. It is a really great set. I love it, love it. So I'm excited to use this. And I will see you guys soon. Have a great rest of your night, and I'll see you Sunday. Bye, everybody.